is
Lou Print. Lou Print is owned by Burke Racing Stable, Weaver Buscemi, Kalura, and Larry Carr, longtime patrons of the Burke Stable. And I told the Kiwanis Club, I said, Ron Burke just won his 16,000th race. Second place is like 8,000. So, I mean, when you double up the second competitor. But one last start, which was the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes final, won by less than a length over Prince Hal Hanover, who I have number 2. So, obviously, those two are coming in very sharp. Dr. Ian Moore has already contacted us and wanted to know, if he could have the same stall he had with Shadow Play. Not that their super horsemen aren't superstitious or anything like that. Someone says, I can't believe you know which stall he was in 16 years ago. I said, well, we put the sign up above the door, so we know.
Again, we talked about in the first segment, things for fans to do. Go there, and you can see where these horses were stalled. That's a great tradition. I've got another one that I think you guys should do is across the grandstand, we've got the sections with the Little Brown Jugs. I would start putting the winners up there. As soon as it's over, have the guy painting the name of the winner in there with the year.
How's your penmanship?
Mine's terrible. But kind of like all the way across. And then you erase the last one and you move them over as time goes on.
I wanted, what are they called? Lawn jockeys, the jockey who holds the lantern. I said that would be cool to have one in front of the log cabin and we can paint it with the winner's colors every year.
The little things like that.
So. Yeah, absolutely. But we got a lot more ideas than we have time. That's the problem. I mean, we're taking windows out during their show.
They did get it out.
They did get it out. So.
A little worried early on with Lou Print. Had the medical issue, but is back ready to roll.
Hasn't lost. So Lou Print hasn't lost this season. Comes in 7 for 7. So we look forward. There's one thing for certain. Ron Burke is on our Jug Society, and he tells us every year, he goes, I don't know what the problem is with heat racing. He goes, I train my horses to go heats every day. So, they circle the calendar every year for Little Brown Jug, and we hope to see a great champion in the winner's circle behind us here come Thursday afternoon.
No Ohio breds in your top 10. We don't know if any are entered yet, but none in your top 10.
And I'll be honest, if I always do the horses that are eligible.
Right. That's
the big thing, because if there was horses that are not eligible that could pay the 45, that if they told me today, we had a horse a couple years ago said, well, I'm coming. I said, well, until you make the $45,000, I can't, so it's the horses that are currently eligible. So, I mean, you look at Ron Burke and what he's done with the 3-year-old colt paces in the state of Ohio. I think I told Matt Clark last night, I said, do you realize a Burke 3-year-old pacer has not lost to a non-Burke 3-year-old pacer in the 5 legs? 2 of them have finished third, but second place was a stablemate, and then the winner was a stablemate. So it's just, I mean, he's had a dominance. I think if there wasn't the Kentucky Sire Stakes, I think we might have had the sipping on Sea Rock here as a $45,000 supplement, but it's just bad timing.
Now, as part of the festivities every year, the Little Brown Jug Society picks recipients for several different awards, Hall of Fame and that. Who are this year's winners?
David McDuffie is our Hall of Fame honoree. David McDuffie was just inducted into the National Hall of Fame in Goshen, New York. Dave, in his, Mr. Walsh, Tom Walsh, and David McDuffie had Armbro Operative and Magical Mike. So been a long-time supporter, gives a great amount of his time and talents to the industry, and he is definitely a deserving winner. We have the Neville Award, the Joe Neville Award. It's for someone who has passed before we had the chance to properly honor them, and this year it's Bob McIntosh. Well, Bob never won the Little Brown Jug, and I think he would give away half of his career wins, to get one Little Brown Jug. He won the Jugette 3 times. He won the Standardbred. He won the Old Oaken Bucket. One of my favorite races that wasn't even a race here at Delaware was the time trial with Cash Hall, and that was a McIntosh trained trotter. So, Bob McIntosh definitely left his mark here on Delaware. So, it's fitting again that he be honored. And then our Lady Pace honoree this year is Ellen Taylor, Harness Horse Youth Foundation. And as you so well know, the youth is the future, and so we need to make sure we do everything we can. And Ellen has a great organization, definitely deserving.
And then also one award named after your predecessor.
Yeah, Tom White. We have the Tom White Media Award and Nicole Kraft. Nicole, when I called her, I think she was a little bit in shock, and then I said, well, what would you like on the plaque? And she goes, do you think you could put Associated Press, Columbus Dispatch, United States Trotting Association, Harness Racing up there? I said, can we pick one? And I said, maybe 2. So she's covered the Jug for a number of years, as I said, for various. So she's been fabulous, and she's, journalism professor at Ohio State, so she brings a couple students every year. So we got a couple students coming up from Ohio State to cover the race with Nicole. They'll be in the winter circle interviewing, and it's her sports journalism students. So, again, the youth is the future, and we want to thank Nicole for all she's done with that.
This honor is a couple years late. She should have gotten after the year that she was locked in the press box. We were done. It was Jug Day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Jug Day, and part of our Jug Day tradition is we always end up at a camper on the backstretch and have a drink. And my phone rings, and I said, I wonder what she wants. She says, I'm locked up here. What do you mean you're locked up there? The security went and they shut the door, padlocked it, and she literally was locked on the roof. It's not like you can shimmy your way down. So you got to call security. So last year I was a bit smarter. I took the padlock and I hid it. And so there was no chance of her getting locked in the press box. But that's chapter number 72 of my book whenever I decide to write it.
You got to start writing that book. So we're going to take one more break, and then we're going to come back, tell you about some of the new things we have associated with the Little Brown Jug right after this.
With over 30 years of experience in wealth planning and a lifetime of involvement in harness racing, Matt Franklin at Wire to Wire Wealth can help you build a financial plan that addresses the unique circumstances of those involved in the horse racing industry. Whether you are investing to build wealth, protect your family, or preserve your assets, Matt at Wire to Wire Wealth will work with you through the wealth planning process from start to finish.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 66 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the county fairs, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for nearly $23 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
Welcome back to the Delaware County Fairgrounds in Delaware, Ohio. Trackside Live, presented by Wire to Wire Wealth. Glad to have you along as we kick off 5 days in Delaware. I'm Frank Frost along with Jay Wolf. And, we got three really exciting things going on right now with the Little Brown Jug. The first one is the Jug Society tent that we're going to have this year for the first time.
The Jug Social Club.
The Jug Social Club,
we worked with Destination Delaware. The Little Brown Jug worked with Destination Delaware, our Visitors and Convention Bureau. Our goal is to try to bring young folks into the Little Brown Jug. So we did a social media campaign. We did a new beer this year, and it was, the breweries down in Powell, where the young folks live here in Delaware County. So as of a week ago, we sold 240 tickets in that area. So we're getting close to capacity there. But it's just a goal to bring younger people and get them involved.
And those younger people will like to drink that new beer that we do have here, and we have an empty can. Now, it was full last night, but somebody in the booth here, and it wasn't the two sitting here. No. It's one other one. Kind of took care of it. But this is a great idea.
Yeah, Nocterra Brewing in downtown Powell, Ohio. They renovated the old train station in Powell about 5 years ago. They opened a brewery, and we approached them about doing a Little Brown Jug, and they picked a fest beer, which is what I call an Oktoberfest, not on steroids, but toned down a little bit. It's very drinkable to me. I'm not a nutty and a pumpkin kind of guy, but this is an Oktoberfest, and the only bad thing is due to those stingy liquor laws here in the state of Ohio, we can only sell it by the can on Jug Day, but you can buy 6 packs at Barley Hopsters and or Nocterra. So downtown Delaware or in downtown Powell, you can pick up 6 packs, and I've already picked up a couple, and I'm already done with them. So I got to figure out how to get down to Barley Hopsters before they close tonight.
Now, and the third thing is, this is something that has long been worked on. Senator Andrew Brenner, who has Delaware, has been working on this with the Jug for a long time, and it's now official.
Official as of 2 weeks after I had to renew my license, because we do have a new Brown Jug license plate, a special interest plate, and it's a license plate, but you have to have Senate hearings, and you have to have resolutions, and there has to be 3 readings, and it has to go back to this committee, and then then you submit your artwork, and then they have to vote on the artwork and have a second reading on the artwork, and it's crazy. But Yeah, we were very fortunate. We got the Little Brown Jug new license plates. I think they're $30 extra a year, but 20 of that does come back to the Delaware County Fair, and we'll use that for a scholarship fund. But it's fun. This is a sample that they gave me. I said, in the state of Ohio, you don't need a plate on the front. So if I put on this on the front, I can't get arrested for having a bad plate because it's just decoration. Yep. But yeah, of course, my tags were renewed. I called and they said they're not ready yet. So I went ahead and renewed my current ones for 1 year, and 2 weeks later, I get the note that they're ready, and so I said, just again, bad timing. But
you see all the cars parked behind the log cabin with Bet Jug and Jug One and all that. All of those are going to have this by next year. You know that.
Yeah, I've already. I don't know if I can reserve it or not, but I already looked at what I want. The vanity plate that I want is still available, so I don't want to tell it because probably someone like Matt Clark would take it and say, "I'll sell it to you for $100 a year or something." But I had fun. You could go out and have fun with it. I mean, I did 22 WNR, so Chris Page could have 22 winner.
Okay, there you go.
He won, and, and then BRN STB Brown Stable.
There you go.
And I looked up Amy Holler, Hollar, and she goes, "I already have that." And I said, "You couldn't," because I just said it. They said it's available, and she goes, "Well, mine says HOLAR." And I said, "Well, you can have 6 letters now." She can't even spell her own name. I mean, but so, we were having fun with it one day. 5x WNR, so David Miller could have 5-time winner when he moves back to the state. We can have a lot of fun with it.
That we can. So that's going to wrap it up for our first Trackside Live. But before we go, even though you don't know who's in, is Lou Print your pick?
Lou Print will be my pick unless it draws outside of Prince Hal Hanover in the same division.
Okay. So
how you like that for a non-committal answer?
That's what we may have to do. Have Ashley do for her All Access Ashley. Once we have the draw, just go to a bunch of celebrities around like they do on NBC
Derby
for
Day.
the Derby, and just get everybody to give who they think their pick is going to be. And
I think we should say back in June and July, one Matt Clark was already talking about Prince Hal Hanover. So,
you know what? The man sitting over there needs to be on this side of the camera, but we just can't convince him to. He won't. He has the knowledge in his mind is unbelievable. But Jay, I want to thank you. I know you're busy every day, and we appreciate you taking the time to come out.
Thanks for the OHHA for everything they do. We look forward to a speaker series coming up here, and we helped out a little bit by gathering some folks. So I look forward to see that thing come to fruition. So we'll see that press release come out, and we'll publicize the heck out of that.
That we will, and we'll have another one of these in an hour, and we're going to be joined by the Steck family that are stabled here. Ron Steck, the trainer, his wife Kyla, his daughter Parker, and his son Ranger, who has 2 drives in the first 3 races today. So
get busy.
Yep, get busy. Yep, and see what he has to say about driving here at Delaware, where he's been out with horses for so many years. So we'll be back in an hour. Thanks for joining us on Trackside Live.
This has been Trackside Live. Trackside Live is presented by Wire to Wire Wealth. Trackside Live is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.